We are learning Yoma Daf Nun Dalid Amid Aleph. This will have Nun Dalid Amid Aleph and Nun Dalid Amid Beis. Here we go. We are a few lines down on the Dalid. So Reb Shimon Bar Yochai, according to Ula, just learnt from the fact that the pasuk says that the badim, the poles of the urn, would be seen through the Paroiches, Ada Yemazeh, Shom Ada Yemazeh. That means that they're nignaz in that spot right now. On that fact, Gemara Amarle Rabba Leula, my mashma. Where are you getting this from? Because it says in the pasuk until this day. Does it mean whenever the Torah uses the lashon ad hayemazeh, does that mean forever? It's a fair question. I'll prove to you that it does not. But the pasuk says, "Yivusi yeshev Yerushalayim," the Yivusi that were settled in Yerushalayim, like Hirishu b'nei Binyamin. B'nei Binyamin were not able to get rid of them. The Yashav HaYivusi es b'nei Binyamin Yerushalayim Ada Yemazeh. The Yivusi and b'nei Binyamin lived together in Yerushalayim Ada Yemazeh until today. Well, that means it was continuous forever. It can't be. You want to tell me that the Yevusi and Bnei Binyamin lived together in Yerushalayim and they were never went into Galus? Not possible. But then you learned in the Brayso, Rabbi Yehuda Omer, Chamishim Ushtayim Shana Le'ovar Ish B'Yehuda. For 52 years after the Churban, not a soul, not a man, was over, crossed in Yehuda. Shnemer Alaharim Esabechi V'Nehi. On the mountains I raise a cry and a wail, Val Na'os Midbar Kina, and for the beautiful deserts a lament. Kinatetsu Mibli Ish Oiver, because they're empty without a person passing by. V'Lashamu Kol Mikne, you don't hear the voices of cattle. Me Oiv Hashemayim Vad Behima, from the birds of the heaven till the animals. Nadadu Halachu, they are scattered. They're going. Behema. Begematria Chamshin U'Shtayim. Behema is the gematria of 52. So for Behema Nadadu, for 52 years they wandered. They were empty for 52 years. Vitanya. I'll bring another price. Rabbi Yossi Omer, Sheva Shanam Niskaima Gofris V'Melech Be'eretz Yisrael. For 7 years, there was a kiyum of the klala of Gofris V'Melech in Eretz Yisrael. But Rabbi Yochanan, my timer, the Rabbi Yossi. Where did Rabbi Yossi know this from? He had made a gzer shava asi bris bris. Ksivacha v'hig bris l'rabim shavu echad. I will be gover. I will. The Sefer Daniel Rashi says, "V'achim farish l'Rabbi Yochanan oisei bris ha'amar b'gafres v'malach shenamar by al shar ozvas bris higbiru ha'oyev al Yisrael." The enemy overpowered the Jewish people for shavu echad, for 1 7-year cycle. So the bris, it says because you will forsake the bris of Hashem, so Hashem will bring gafres for Melech, beginning of Parshas Nitzavim. So that is the bris, and that was for 7 years. So Amrlei, so he answered me right. They were gone, but hachaksiv sham. Here it says sham ada yemazeh. Hasam like siv sham. So maybe when it says sham, it means forever. When it says it will be there forever, until this day, it means forever. I'll bring you another proof that it does not mean that. Meisvei. Pasuk says, Mehem divrei yamim, Mehem min b'nei Shimon, holchu lahar seir, anoshim chamesh meos. So 500 people went to Har Seir, upletya una'arya v'rafya v'uziel b'nei yishi b'roisham. V'yaku es she'iris ha'pleita l'Amalek, and they wiped out the remnants of Amalek. V'yashavu sham, and they lived there ad hayemazeh. Well, we know Kar Allah Sanchev Melech Ashur Bibel Kol Haratzis. Sanchev came and mixed everybody up. Shenemar v'asir gevules amim v'atudoseihem shoisesoi. Sanchev came and untied all of the boundaries of nations and sent people in different directions. So you see that even though it says Sham, it's not Ada Yemazeh to Yufta. That upschlags Reb Shimon Bar Yochai's, or at least according to Ula, his drasha. Amar Rav Nachman, Tana. We have another opinion of where the Aron is. Aron belishkas dir ha'etzim hayid ganus. The Aron was hidden in the office of where they checked the wood. Amar Rav Nachman Yitzchak, Avanan Amitini. We even have a Mishnah that brings in Shkalm that says the following story: Ma'isa b'koyin echad she'misasek. There was one kohen that was misasek. What does that mean? He was misasek. He was busy. He wasn't busy doing his job. Rashi says, "Betiol v'schayk." He was wandering, spacing out, joking around. He was misasek. V'rov ritzva mishun mechaverta, and then he noticed that the tile on the floor is different from this one from others. Uba v'hidias chaverei. He came in and told his friend, "He speak ligmar sadever." He didn't have time to finish showing his friend where it was until he died. And they knew for certain that must be the place where the Aron is hidden. My have of it. So what did they do? What was he like? What was he doing that he deserved to die? Amar Rav Chelboi misasek bekardumai. He was playing around with his axe. There was another story with two Kahana Bali Mumin. So what did the Kahana Bali Mumin do? They would take the worms out, or they would take out wormy wood. The axe of one of them fell off. And it fell on that stone where the urn was buried underneath. A fire went out and either consumed the axe or consumed the coin. Review the Rami. Review the asked the stira. The pasuk says, and they saw the ends of the poles. This is talking about the bottom that were sticking out from the aron. They weren't seen outward. So which one was it? Were they seen or not seen? They were seen and not seen. So they're protruding. We have a brace like that as well. Meaning the poles were they made an imprint or an exprint into the pareches. Says the Gemara. Okay, so the Tanam Yach. We have a brace that says like this: the Yiru Rashi Abadim Yachol Lo Yehuzazin Mimkaimen. I thought Yachol that you can't move them from their place. The Badim had to stay in the Aron. They lengthened the bottom, means that they pulled the bottom. The bottom stayed in the rings, but they weren't equidistant on each side. They were going out more towards the pareches. So yachal yum kra'in bepareches. They would tear the pareches and stick out. They weren't seen out. Deichkin uboltin, they were pushing and sticking out bepareches. V'niran kishnei dadei isha, and they appeared like the breasts of a woman. Shenemar tzuror hamar doidili, bein shada yolin. So in Shir it describes the makam of the mikdash as bein shada yolin, between my breasts he will lay. So that is a reference to the shnei, to the badim on the pareches that stuck out of the pareches. Amrav Katina. I mean, the Indian in that is where we nurse from. So the aron that has the Torah, so the dadim stick out, and that's where we nourish ourselves with. Amrav Katina b'shasha Yisrael oil l'regel. When the Yidden would come up to be oil l'regel, megalgal lamas pareches, they would be megalgal. They would roll up the pareches. Umaran lamas akruvim. And they would show the Yidden, the Kruvim, that were hugging each other. You see how much love Hashem has for you, like a zachar, like a male, and a man and a woman. It says when they were traveling in the desert with the Mishkan, so they would not look at any of at the Kalim, they would cover them. So what's now that they're showing the Aron and the Kruvim to Klal Yisrael? Amar Yehuda Marav b'shasach nasas kelim lenartek shalem. When the Yidden, with the Levim, were putting the the Kahanim were putting the kalim into their into their bags that they would carry them in. So they did it in a way that they wouldn't see the kalim. So what happened? Amar Rav Nachman Mashal Lakala. I'll give you an example. A new bride, Kozman Shiba Beis Avia, when she's still in her father's house, Tzinu Mibala, so she's sort of shy from her husband. Kivin Shabasal Beis Chameh, when she goes to her father-in-law's house, I mean now she's living with her husband, Ein Tzinu Mibala, she's not shy from her husband anymore. Master of Chana Bar of Ketina. So that's the mashal. So in the Mishkan, Kaviyachu were like an arusa to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Once we had the Beis HaMikdash, so now we were ready like a wife, a nesua. Master of Chana Bar Ketina, Ma'isa B'Koyin Achad Shoy Misasek. You see that this Koyin was punished because he was too lightheaded. Amalei, that was in Bayis Sheni. That's like Nisgarsha. That's like she was already divorced. Nisgarsha Kamret. Nisgarsha Chazru L'chibasa Rishena. When a woman's divorced and then gets remarried, so she remains in that state of an arusa, not so comfortable with her husband. But Mayaskina. Well, one second. What are we talking about over here? This whole Maisa with the Kaiso being Eila Regal and them showing them the Chiba of HaKadosh Baruch Hu towards the and showing them the Kruvim. Which Beis HaMikdash? Inema B'Mikdash Rishon. Mihavi Parechas. Was there a Parechas in the Bayis Rishon? There was the Amatraxon. El Mikdasheni. So we're talking about the Mikdasheni. Mihavu Kruvim. Were there any Kruvim in the Mikdasheni? La'ila Mikdash Rishon. We were in the Mikdash Rishon. My Parechas. When it says the Parechas, it wasn't referring to the Parechas of the Amatraxon. Parechas de Bavi. There were many Parechas in the Beis HaMikdash. By each gate there was a Parechas. Then Reb Zera Amarav Shloisha As a Parechas Hayu B'Mikdash. There were 13 curtains in the Beis HaMikdash. Shiva K'neged Shiva Sha'arim. There were 7 for the 7 gates. Shtaim Achas lepischoi shel heichel, and then another 2, one for the opening of the heichel, v'achas lepischoi shel ulam, and then shtaim bidvir, v'shtaim kenegdon ba'aliyah, and then there were another 2 upstairs in the Kodesh HaKadoshim. Okay. Revach bar Yaakov Amar lo ilam, no, b'mikdasheni. We're talking about the mikdasheni. The kasha, there was no kruvim. Kruvim de tzurasa havu kaimi. They actually in the Beis HaMikdash, on the walls of the Beis HaMikdash, they had kruvim either engraved or painted on the walls. Zechsev ve'es kol kireis habayis masiv kala. Kruvim metmuris beturei tzitzim v'tzav azav, and then they covered them with gold, mishar ala mechuka, uksiv kemar ish levilavias, and they looked like a man hugging his wife. My kemar ish v'levias amra bar Rav Shiloi, top of Nandalam Rebbeis, ki ish hamu'ura b'levia shaloi, like a man who is totally enwrapped or with his wife. His wife is between his arms. Amr Shlakesh, and that, according to this, that is what they showed the Yidden were able to see that. So according to this Gemara, this pasuk is not referring to the actual kruvim, but rather the paintings that were on the wall. Amr Shlakesh b'shoshin l'chusu nachrim l'heichel, when the Goyim came into the heichel, ro kruvim hamu'urin zebezeh, they saw the kruvim that were hugging each other. Rashi says, Kiflum min ha-kaisel. These are talking about the kruvim that were on the walls. Haitziyun l'shuk. So the Goyim took this out to the shuk. V'amru Yisrael alalu shebrachazim bracha v'kalasan klala. The Jews, who had said about them that those who curse them will be cursed and those who bless them will be blessed. Yasku b'dvarim ha'ilu halalu. This is what they're busy with. Meaning, it doesn't seem very appropriate. Miyad hizilum. So immediately the nations of the world were mizalzel. They scorned the Jewish people. Like the pasuk says, "Kol machmadeh hizilua kiro ervasa." So this is really a mashal for the love that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has for Yisrael, but it was used against them. It was used to show that they were involved in promiscuous things. That this is what they have in the Kodesh HaKadoshim. Wow, Tana. So the Mishnah says, "V'shesiya ha'isa." The Evan that was in the Kodesh HaKadoshim was called the Shesiya. Tana shemimena Hushas ha'olam. From there, the world was hushas. It was founded. It was niyaseid. It was the foundation of the world came from that Evan Shasiya. Tanan Kemanda Amar, and our Mishnah follows the opinion that says Mitzion Nivra Olam. The world was created from Tzion. The time in the Brisa, a few opinions. It was created from the middle. Shnemar Betzekas Afar Lemutzak Virgavim Yudbaku. So the first land mass was Tzion, and then other land masses were put around it. So the world was started from the middle and went outward. Hashem says to the snow, have a eretz, vegeshem, mater, vegeshem mitrois, uzay, 4 lashonis of rain turning into, or rain or snow turning into land. And from the 4 sides, that rain, all that land came together and formed the landmass of the world. Reb Yitzchak Nafcha Amar, Evan Yara Kadosh Baruch Hu b'yam. Kadosh Baruch Hu threw an Evan into the sea, and Mimenu Nishta Sa'ilam, and the world came from there. Shenemar Alma Adneha, on what did he support the world? Hutbu. Alma Adneha Hutbu. Oimi Yira Evan Pinsa. Or who was the one who threw the stone into the water to form the world? And this is probably the same opinion as Rabbi Eliezer, because Tzion is the middle of the world. Shemar Mizmar La'asaf Kel Elikim Hashem V'omer Mitzion Michlal Yofi Mimenu Muchlal Yof Yof Shalom. From Tzion came out the rest, the beauty of the world. Tan Rabbi Eliezer Gadol Ela Todos Hashemayim Va'aretz B'hi Baram B'Yoma Asais Hashem Elikim Eretz V'Shamayim. So the Redactions Todos Shamayim Mishamayim. The sun, the moon, the stars, all that comes from heaven. Nivru, Tildas Haaretz, everything on the land. Me Eretz Nivru was created from the land. Everything was created from Tzion. Shnemar Mizmal Asav Kel Elikim Hashem Daber Vayikra Eretz Mimizach Shemesh Ad Mavayai Va'omer Mitzion Mechlal Yofi Elikim Yofi Mimenu Mechlal Yofi Shel Olam. That everything came out from Tzion.